Good morning, everyone. So, how's everybody? Is everybody doing okay? I hope you've taken your breakfast already because we will be tackling another topic right now. Okay, so our agenda for today, we will be traveling to the other region, right? Particularly in region 11 of Mindanao because right now we will be dwelling more onto the Mindanao literature, particularly on the entitled poem, An Open Letter to a Filipino Artist. By whom? By Emmanuel F. Lacaba. No, so like you might be wondering who is he? Like, what is his contribution to the Philippine literature and how it brings impact to the society, of course. No? Okay, let's now go on to the discussion proper. All right? Okay. Okay, let's now go straight to the first slide, which is all about the author's background. Of course, we have to get to know more about the authors. Where does it come from? What is his or her educational background? And also, what is his or her accomplishment in the earliest time? And so on and so forth. Okay? His complete name is Emmanuel F. Lacapa. Okay, there are many descriptions here stipulated, so let me read them each. Okay, so first, Emmanuel was born on 10th of December 1949, exactly a year after the historic Universal Declaration of Human Rights was adopted by the United Nations. Second, when he was 7, the Lacaba family moved to Pateros, Rizal from Cagayan de Oro, rather, city, his birthplace. Third, Eman is recognized as a great poet, essayist, scriptwriter, and dramatist. Fourth, as editor of the Gidon, he channeled his passion and skill in writing to instill social consciousness among Ateneo students. Next, he fought for the Filipinization of the American dominated school administration and helped organize the studentry. Okay, the next one is he is a participant of the first quarter storm. He joined Panday Sining, cultural arm of the militant Kabataang Makabayan. After graduation, he taught Rizal's life and works at the University of the Philippines. He also became active in the labor movement and joined the Panulat para sa Kaunlaran ng Sambayan or the Paksa. Also, he got involved in stage film production and wrote the lyrics for the theme song of Tinimbang Kangunit Kulang, an award-winning 1974 film directed by Lino Broca. And lastly, not long afterwards, he went to Mindanao to join the New People's Army. Okay, we are now acquainted by Emmanuel F. Lacaba, but I mean not completely because that's the only partial information we have from him, alright? Okay, that's his short biography. So let's now move on to the next slide, which is the place description, the geographical background of where the poem was written. Alright, so it was written in at I mean in Region 11, of course, at Davao del Norte. So let me read the description here. Davao del Norte is part of the Davao region and it is situated on the eastern side of Mindanao. It is bounded by the province of Davao Oriental to the east, Compostela Valley, to the southeast, Agusan del Sur, to the west, and the Davao Gulf to the southwest. The province has a diverse geography rather, featuring plains, mountains, and coastal areas. The provincial capital of Davao del Norte is Tagum City, which is also considered the province's industrial center and primary or urban area. Of course, let's now move on to the next slide, which is all about the vocabulary check. Of course, we have to check your vocabulary in order to understand the complete piece because there are many words there that are some of the words there are very hard to understand because we are not familiar with. So I have provided you an array of list, no, an array of list of words for you to be enlightened. Okay? The first one here is boulders. So boulders is a large rocks, no? Are large rocks rather. The next one is headlong or the head first. The next one is a dwarf. It is caused to seem small or insignificant in comparison. No, not the dwarf that we have commonly known, like the supernatural one, not that one. Okay, we are talking about dwarf. We're talking about the adjective one. Okay, the next one is bourgeois. No, bourgeois. It is a member of the middle class. Okay. The next one is bohemia, a group of artists and writers with real or pretended artistic or intellectual aspiration and usually an unconventional lifestyle. Okay, the next one is lumpen. It is of or relating to dispossessed, rather, and uprooted individuals cut off from the economic and social class with which they might normally be identified. The next one is culturati, people intensely interested in cultural affairs. The next one is bandit, an outlaw who lives by plunder. The next one is fascist, a way of organizing a society in which a government ruled by a dictator controls the lives of the people, in which people are not allowed to disagree with the government. The next one is the Messiah, or the promised, or the anointed one. An open letter to Filipino artists. Invisible the mountain roads to strangers, for rushing toes in each wide strip on boulders, and for the hand that's free a twig to grass, or else we headlong fall below to rocks, and waterfalls of death so instant that too soon they're red with skulls of carabaos. But patient guides and teachers are the masses of 40 mountains and 100 rivers, of plowing, planting, weeding, and the harvest, and of a dozen dialects that dwarf. This foreign tongue we write each other, in who must transcend our bourgeois origins. You want to know, companions of my youth, how much has changed the wild but shy young poet, forever writing last poem after last poem. You hear his dark as earth, barefoot, and turbaned round his head, a bolo at his side, his ballpen blown up to a long-barreled gun, deeper still the struggling change inside. Like husk of coconut, he tears away the billion layers of his selfishness, or learns to cage his longing like the bird of legend, fire, and song within his chest. Now of consequence is his anemia, from lack of sleep, no longer for Bohemia. The lumpin culturati, but for the people, yes. He mixes metaphors, but values more, a holographic and geometric memory. For mountains, not because they are there, but because the masses are there were. Roofs are jigsaw puzzles he must piece together. Though he has been called a brown rimbald, he is no bandit, but a people's warrior. We are tribeless, and all tribes are ours. We are homeless, and all homes are ours. We are nameless, and all names are ours. To the fascist, we are the faceless enemy, who come like thieves in the night, angels of death, the ever-moving, shining, secret eye of the storm. The road less traveled but we've taken, and that has made all the difference. The barefoot army of the wilderness. We all should be in time, awakened. The masses are Messiah. Here among workers and peasants are lost. Generation has found its true, its only home. So I hope you enjoyed the reading session and lended your ears and pay your attention and pay your utmost attention rather, because we will be um we will be dwelling now on the literary analysis. Okay, so the setting, so it was during the martial law era, because as what you have listened, it happened during the bloodiest era, the martial law era. Okay, where people were screaming for justice, for equality, and for the betterment, no, for the better treatment of the Filipino citizens, rather than maltreating them like an animals, or treating them like an enemy of the society, of course. Okay, and the theme resistance, activism, suppression, and nationalism. It's pretty obvious, right? Let's now on move on to the point of view. The point of view here is the first point of view. Okay, the conflict that we could locate, no, that we could analyze, character versus society, and character versus self. The tone are passionate, defiant, hopeful, and reflective. Okay, so let's now move on to the conclusion, the most awaiting part of the presentation and the most insightful part of the presentation. Okay, so in the face of tyranny, let your art be a fearless of rebellion. Let it be the quill that pens truth, the paint that colors dissent, and the melody that harmonizes the clamor for justice. Your duty is not merely to create, it is to illuminate the path to liberation for a nation in the throes of expression. The moral lesson whispers through the lines, entreating you to transcend the boundaries of aesthetics and embrace the responsibility that comes with wielding creative power. Your craft is not detached from the world, it is an inseparable thread to the fabric of societal evolution. Let your art be a mirror reflecting the struggles of silence, a shield against the erasures of truth, and a beacon guiding the collective spirit towards freedom. So that's the end of my presentation. So I hope you gleaned and grasped a bag of knowledge about societal change, nation building, empowering youth, and to not be afraid, to be fearless of the power that you have, that you possessed. And that is very useful to the society. Of course, don't forget to use it on the purposeful aspects. Okay, so an open letter to a Filipino artist by Emmanuel Lacaba remains significant in today's youth, as it urges artists to be socially aware and use their craft for societal change. Lacaba's call for a commitment to truth, justice, and the Filipino people resonates with contemporary issues, inspiring the youth to engage in activism, because activism is not terrorism. Okay, so we should know the distinction, because some of the people were having this baseless assumption that activism is considered as terrorism or being communism. Okay, being communist in a society. Okay, let me correct that one. Okay, so, and use their creative expressions to address social concerns. The poem serves as a timeless reminder of the transformative power that art and activism can have a shaping a just and equitable society. Okay, so good morning everyone once again, and I am Francis Jerson M. Olinares, your presenter for today's presentation. Okay? So, goodbye and thank you for listening.